Hello, welcome to Freedom Friday and Life by Design. Is your life by design or by somebody else's? Like, I really want to ask you that. Is it by your design? Did you design how your life is going? Sorry, I'm rearranging my desk here so I can open up a note that I want to talk to you about. I was chatting to Maggie this morning and we were getting some things ready for my in-person event in May in Cairns. And I said, okay, I want this, this, and this, and I want to be able to gift the people with this. So this is how I want it to look, Mags. And I was showing her some pictures, and I opened a page to a question, and I thought, ooh, this is a big question. And I actually answered it as well. So first of all, I want to give you a bit of background. When I was creating Hannah's photo album, of course, you go back through all the old archives of photos, and I found lots of videos, and I was thinking to myself, I wasn't a bad mum. I was not a bad mum. When the kids were little, it was so good. And I was like, what was the turning point? What was it that created in me like this monster version of Polly, this angry version of Polly, this version of Polly that didn't believe she was a good mum? And my husband and I didn't know about all this stuff back then. And we used to have some pretty big arguments and say some pretty hurtful things to each other. And one of these days, when we were having an argument, he told me I was a crappy mum. He used worse words than that, but I don't want to say them here. And you know how people just say things in the heat of the moment, but when you understand that your family and your closest friends have a direct line to your subconscious mind, they can implant things in there before you even have a chance to reject it, because nothing gets into our subconscious mind unless we allow it. And how do we get it there? We internalize it. So I internalized this thought that I'm a crappy mum, and that's what I became, because that thought was in there and it created my behavior. So each time I started to do some good, that belief in there about me would create circumstances that I could justify, yeah, I'm a crappy mum. And it's not something that I set out to do, it's just something that happened. And that leads me to this question. Now I was going to do a written thing about this, and I thought, you know what, it's way better to talk. I'm not reading Serenity today, I am doing this. So there's a quote that it was up on the screen at training, and it is, respect yourself enough to walk away from anything that no longer serves you, grows you, or makes you happy. So I want to say that again. Respect yourself enough to walk away from anything that no longer serves you, grows you, or makes you happy. And then I wrote, but what if all of that is you? And I was writing it about myself, like, what if all of those things, like, I no longer serve me, I'm out there serving this version of me that is not true unless I keep get emotionally involved with this version. I was no longer growing, and I was no longer making myself happy. So how do we walk away from ourselves? And that's what next week is all about. Next week is helping you create the successful version of yourself, because that's really what I had to do. I had to leave that old Polly by the wayside and get the picture of what Polly as a good mum, wife, business owner, calm, responsive, who she was, and then start turning up as her. Some of the most difficult work you will ever do, because as soon as you decide that, okay, this is what I'm doing, you are bombarded with the old version of you. You are bombarded with all the things that version of you was attracting. And some of the hardest work in the world to do is to turn a blind eye to that and go, I'm just going to keep going. I just know that if I stay true to me, then this is how I'm going to get there. So next week It doesn't matter if yours is mum or if it's business, if it's money, if it's relationships, if it's relationships with yourself. It doesn't matter what it is. It's the same process. And that's what I really want to help you all with next week. And it doesn't matter how successful you are. There will be parts of you that are holding you back. There will be parts of you that no longer grow you. There will be parts of you that no longer make you happy and they don't serve you. And what if we could start to really get rid of a lot of those? Where would you be in 6 months? Where would you be in a year? If we could really start to eliminate those thoughts about you, that disbelief that you have about yourself, where would you be? Think about that. If you truly believed in yourself and you stood up and you went after what you were going at, like whatever it is that you want, it doesn't matter what it is, you went after it. And you came from that belief, that absolute belief that it's mine because I can think it. What would be different in your life in 6 to 12 months? Because I know for me it was a swift and dramatic and really big change. And like Catherine said on my post the other day, Polly, I cannot imagine you being like this person. I said, because she no longer exists in me. Sometimes she tries to come back to visit and it's just like, no, you're not welcome. You can bugger off. Thank you very much for even highlighting who I used to be. And it's hard to see how somebody could be when all you can see now is how successful they are. But if I can do it, and if my clients can do it, all of you can. All of you. The whole world can. Could you imagine how much less time there would be spent on war if everybody was just going after what they wanted and not competing or comparing against anybody else, not looking at what everybody else is doing and then being jealous and then wanting to try and take it from them because they can't, like that's a disbelief in yourself that you can do it for yourself. How much better would the world be? How much kinder would we be? How much more supportive would we be? Really, really think about this. And ask yourself, is my thoughts that I'm thinking, did I create them? Did I create this thought to be in harmony with where I'm going? Or did the circumstances create that thinking? Or did my mum give it to me? Or did my husband give it to me? Or did my kids give it to me? Or what? So, like, you think about that. My husband said I was a pretty crappy mum. Then I'd have an argument with my kids and like, I hate you. And like all of these just added to it, added to it, added to it. And before long, I was in a place where I didn't know how to get out of because I had talked myself into that place. So, if you haven't already signed up to Success, get on it. Don't play around with this. This is your life. It can be so much better. And when you believe in yourself, and you can stand tall and you can hold your ground and you don't even have to get involved in arguments or other things. You're just like, okay, you're not taking this on. No worries. I'm out of here. See you later. Enjoy. You stay where you are. I'm going where I'm going. And it makes it so much easier because respect yourself enough to walk away from anything that no longer serves you, grows you, or makes you happy. Respect yourself enough. Right, and if that person is you, like my person was me, decide to change. Get somebody to help you and change. Right, I'll see you all later. I know I have to do a draw. I'll be back on a little bit later to do that because I don't know if Maggie's given me all the numbers. Anyway, see you later. Bye-bye.